pup named Kicker Dog came into my life after I almost lost it all. Watch as we take this badass adventure van on the road trip of a lifetime. There were highs and there were lows. We pushed our limits, learned a lot, and met some incredible people along the way. But above all else, we had fun. Welcome to Season 2 of the Tiny Home Adventure. On the last episode of Tiny Home Adventure, I spent 10 days at Denali Base Camp exploring and riding the biggest lines of my life. After Denali, I headed to John Ross's house to pick up Kicker Dog. I couldn't be more excited to see him. After picking up Kicker Dog, we headed to Girdwood, where Kicker saw his first unfrozen large body of water. He seemed to be pretty stoked about it. I caught up with Guy and Kayla from the Neverending Dream. Guy guides the board tide, which is essentially a tidal wave that you can surf for miles in the Turnagain Arm. So they hooked me up with some gear, and we surfed this wild wave. Not sure what to expect, I was honestly a bit terrified when I saw the mass of water rushing towards me. Thankfully, you can shuttle in front of the wave and catch it at another spot. After surfing the board tide, Kicker went swimming for the first time ever.
Good boy! Good like nothing. Oh, there we go.
I think he did pretty good.
Boy.
And then we messed around on some paddle boards. You may remember the hell my sled trailer gave us in episode 5. John and I worked late into the night redesigning and rebuilding the trailer, so hopefully it would make the long voyage home. I also got to try welding for the first time.
Too much? Oh, it looks good.
It is 4:26 a.m. We just finished rebuilding the trailer axle setup. We continued down the road to a little town called Hope for a good old-fashioned Alaskan hoe-down. The next morning we headed out to speed fly. One of the things about speed flying these bigger lines is Kicker typically can't join.
He's just chilling.
So we rigged him into a tandem harness. Please note that John is a certified instructor and Kicker is in a climbing grade harness that was backed up and redundant with additional webbing. I would have trusted my own life in this setup happily. Kicker really is such a good sport.
Oh yeah. Go.
Looks good. John was on a much larger wing and was able to make it back to the camping area. I ended up bushwhacking out. After speed flying, we drove through North America's largest tunnel to a small town called Whittier. I ended up running into Cabana, who I had met in Thompson Pass. Turns out she's the captain of a female-only fishing crew on her ship, the Chugach Pearl.
And this is your boat?
Yeah.
Cool.
Jamie gave me a tour of her badass boat.
I'll fish some water.
I also may have had a huge crush on her.
Okay.
We ended up going on a hike with her mom, and her dogs to a glacial lake. I decided to go for a swim, which I hoped would impress her. Don't think it worked. Next, we headed to a lake to get a little kayaking practice done for an upcoming larger project. John let me borrow some gear, including this sweet dry suit.
You'll never guess the places that I've been.
I hadn't been in a kayak in years and wanted to see if I could still combat roll.
Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but
This was John's wooden boat, which he had made by hand, and I was totally in the wrong spot.
That was my bad for being in your way. Did you hurt it? Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. You're good. I'm really sorry. Oh man.
Thankfully, John is one of the most easygoing people I know, so he brushed it off and went speed flying that evening.
oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Never gonna come down from above, 'cause everything looks better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones
Hey, buddy.
I love.
What are you doing?
Never
being a
gonna
dog.
lose the ones I love. Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that world that I dream of. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, cause
Thank you all so much for the love and support. If you'd like to keep up with our latest endeavors, follow us on Instagram at Andrew__Muse.
Give me my dreams. Give me my dreams.